Hello everyone, my name is the Ultimate Spy, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed number 169. And today, I'm going to be reviewing Disney's Aladdin from 1992. So what did I think of Aladdin from 1992? I loved it. It was amazing. It's probably one of my favorite Disney movies of the Renaissance period of Disney movies, because that was from 89 to 99. It was like a 10-year period of Disney films, and this is one of my favorites. I mean, I loved all of them. I think each Disney film in the Renaissance period is amazing in their own way, but I wanted to do this review because, well, the new one came out, and I haven't yet seen it, and I'll be seeing it within a month or two, depending on when it heads to the crest, but I don't know what to expect from that one. And this one, you know, I review Disney movies every once in a while. I haven't reviewed all of them, but this one is very special because it's a wonderful story. It's well made for its time. It came out right after Beauty and the Beast, and there's actually a lot of Disney cameos that happened in this movie, and overall, I just thought it was amazing. The voice acting was superb. Oh my god, Robin Williams is amazing in this role. You know, rest in peace him. But I just felt like the animation was just flawless. The story was really good. The lighting with this, this period, the lighting with these movies are really good. I mean, like classic Disney films back in the 40s. Lighting wasn't as good, but this one, it's like they have CGI now that you can use, and it's just amazing. I mean, the character design is amazing. Cinematography is really fun, and that's what the best part of it, because like the cinematography, like especially in the Cave of Wonders, that is amazing. I mean, it's different in the live action movie. I've seen the trailer for that. I don't know what I'm gonna be in for when I see that version of the movie, but I think the original movie is fantastic. Now, I had never seen the TV show. I think I've seen Return of Jafar, and it wasn't very good. But I have not seen King of Thieves. But this one is just amazing because I did see like a behind the scenes recording booth, and Robin Williams does an amazing job. He's probably one of the best voice actors in Hollywood. The songs are amazing. My goodness, the songs. Oh my god, I love the song. Definitely A Friend Like Me. That song is just amazing. I mean, from start to finish, it's one of the best songs in the movie. I mean, there's the Prince Ali song, there's, A Whole New World is a classic, but A Friend Like Me is such a classic song. What's interesting about this particular Disney film was the fact that it's set in Agrabah, and Agrabah is sort of based in, like, Iraq, which is a part of India, sort of, like, it's like the Middle East where India is, so it's kind of like, so I feel like Agrabah, the city of Agrabah with the palace, it's kind of supposed to be, like, inspired by India. All the characters look like they're from India, how the turbans, the headdresses, the garments they wear, the feathers, all that stuff. It's very much inspired by India. And I feel like Disney is good at making films that incorporate a lot of different cultures, which is amazing. I feel like that's a really wonderful thing. I mean, Pixar does the same thing, but I feel like with Disney, they do a really good job at telling stories that are set in different like cultures, different countries. That thing with Frozen, they did Norway, and with Moana, they did Polynesian culture, like Maori culture, like Hawaiian culture. I feel like this one, Aladdin, being a classic as it is, and I love the movie itself. It was so good. I mean, it's also the first Disney princess film where the Disney princess is not like the head of the film. Like, it's called Aladdin. It's about Aladdin, but it also has a princess in it, and I know that Princess Jasmine is part of the princess line, but she is not like the star of the show. She's a character, yes, but she's not the star of the show. All the previous Disney princess films, the role of the princess has always been like the in the title, but Aladdin was different because it was not about Jasmine. She was part of the film. She was a very major character. But I feel like Aladdin, because this movie was about him, it was his story. Speaking of Jasmine, actually, I mean, yeah, she's a very beautiful woman, even as a cartoon. But I will say she was rather sexualized. I think that was more or less done on purpose by Disney's half. They wanted to kind of sexualize her for some reason. I don't even know why that was a thing. With Pocahontas, so that really doesn't count because that's not a very good Disney film, and in my opinion, and Pocahontas isn't really a Disney princess, not really. I wouldn't count her, but I will say that Jasmine, because she was sexualized, I like the fact that when the Sultan announces Aladdin as the suitor for Jasmine, Jasmine wears like a more non-revealing dress, which I like that a lot. I like that version of the dress because the one she wears all the time is much more revealing. Jasmine, she has a much more revealing costume, and I feel like with that particular scene, with that particular dress, they made it less revealing, which is fantastic. I feel like that was a better move on Disney. And also Iago. Yeah, he's funny. He's meant to be the comic relief and voiced by the brilliant Gilbert Godfrey, I think that's his name. He's like got the loud voice and all that stuff, and he's obviously New Yorker because he says crackers like crackers, like you'd say in New York. And he does a brilliant job as Iago. He's one of the comic relief. What's really interesting about his character is he can like imitate other characters. He can imitate Jafar. He can imitate Jasmine, which is very interesting. He's one of those really funny characters who's always like giving Jafar really good advice, essentially, about what to do. And obviously he's there for comic relief, but still, I think he was funny. Some people had issues with Will Smith as Genie, but I know how horrible the CGI was. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I'll have to be the judge myself to see how he is. I haven't seen it yet, but I will say that Robin Williams will always be the Genie. He's the definitive Genie, and he's just amazing in the role. Especially since he's so funny, he's so fun, he's so wild. He kind of like modernizes everything. There's even some Disney Easter eggs in the movie that he pokes fun at, like he turns into Pinocchio at one point. When he's dishing out his book to look at wishes that can happen, he takes out Flounder from Little Mermaid, which is so funny. Just like past Disney films. In fact, there was a Easter egg for the Beast from Beauty and the Beast the year before. That was basically it's like an action figure when the Sultan's like mounting his figures on a like a tower. You can see the Beast like just kind of like hanging there. It's like a action figure of the Beast, which is fantastic because it's like you're putting modern day things into this movie. It's just the most fantastic thing ever. I mean, I don't even know where this takes place, but I know that it is obviously inspired by India, but I don't know what time. I don't know what year or whatever. But the point is that Genie is such a fun character. He's so wacky. He's so silly, and I just love everything about it. He's the definitive Disney character, and he's just so awesome. I just love him in every way, and he's just so goofy. I just love his facial expressions. He basically like references modern day culture, which is really really funny. Like I think at one point he mimicked Christopher Walken and then Jack Nicholson, which is so silly. and towards the end of the film, he even wears a goofy hat, which is so silly. It's just the best. But and as for Jafar, he is nasty. He is nasty. People were saying that there was issues with Jafar in the remake, but I don't know what that's gonna be like because I haven't seen the remake. But I will say that Jafar is one of the best Disney villains of all time. He's so evil. He's so well written, and he's just so malicious because he basically like he has like this walking stick shaped like a snake, and he basically like controls the Sultan, which is fantastic. And he basically gets his way. Like he disguises himself as an old man to get Aladdin into the Cave of Wonders, and then the Cave of Wonders is, by the way, amazing. That whole sequence was amazing. I just love the Cave of Wonders. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the film. His whole like agenda is to basically rule over all of Agrabah. Essentially, he gets the Genie, and then he basically becomes the greatest sorcerer of all time after becoming the Sultan, and then what's really amazing is that Aladdin tricks Jafar by getting him to his final wish to become a genie, which then traps him into a new lamp. But still, I loved Jafar because he is so wicked, and when villains win the day, it's really fun. Horrible, yes, but it's really fun because it gives the hero a chance to figure out how to stop them, and that's kind of the point of villains. That they're evil in their own way, like they get everything, but there's always a way for them to be defeated by the hero, and the hero always find some way to do it. And I just feel like that Jafar, who was written really well, and I feel like that based off what I've seen in the trailer, the original Jafar is a lot better. I mean, I've seen different versions of it. Like, I've seen a version of Jafar in Once Upon a Time. I've also seen a version of it in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I haven't actually finished that show, but he is so much different. He doesn't have the curly beard like he does in the original movie, but at the same time, he's a wicked villain. He's just so evil. I mean, that's the kind of idea, but like at the same time, he's just like probably my favorite Disney villain, just because you kind of feel like there's every chance he can win. There's every chance he can do it, which is crazy because of the kind of stuff that he does. Like he controls the Sultan, he gets a hold of the Genie, he throws Aladdin at the bottom of the ocean, which actually is something I don't remember seeing before, because I've seen this movie several times in the past, but only until recently I've seen it again, and I don't remember that part at all. In fact, it's kind of thing with movies that I've seen in the past where I haven't seen it in a long time, and then I go back and watch them again, and I don't remember certain parts, like the part where Aladdin gets dropped at the bottom of the ocean. I completely forgot that was in the movie. Like, I didn't even know. One thing about this movie that everyone always curious about, not sure how they're connected, is that if the peddler, the tiny man at the beginning of the movie that sings Arabian Nights, and the Genie, if they're the same character, which makes sense because they are voiced by the same actor. But I don't know. I mean, they look very similar. They have a very similar, beard, and their facial expressions are very similar. But I mean, it's interesting because the peddler tells the story of Aladdin, which is very interesting. But yeah, I don't know what that's about. I like the relationship between Aladdin and the Genie. That's special because Aladdin doesn't treat him like a master. He treats him like a friend, and Aladdin himself actually frees the Genie, which is very, very special. Like, apparently, according to the Genie, the masters before him never requested that. Never have they done that before, which is amazing. So that's pretty much all I can say about Aladdin. I will be seeing the new one eventually, and I'll definitely do a full review on it. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. I'll figure out if that's a possibility. It's still playing in theaters, but I'm gonna wait until it comes to the press before I see it, and then I can compare the two. But still, this will always remain one of the best Disney films of all time because it is just so amazing. I just love everything about it. That's all I'm going to say to this movie. And I'm reviewing it now because when I see the new one, I'll want to be able to compare them to and see what the difference is and see which one will look better. I'm very curious to see how the new one changed the story. So that's going to do it for this episode of Reviewed. I'm going to leave this movie with a 10 out of 10. I had no issues with it. It's phenomenal. It's just really fun, too. I mean, it has, obviously callbacks to previous Disney movies. And I love the fact that the Genie is so modern. He makes everything so funny. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and of this series that I do as well as other content. Also make sure to click that bell to enable alerts so you don't miss any uploads. And I'll be back next week with another episode. Right?